front couple of rows are 1, 2, 3, 4. At least the front 10 drivers are lined up nicely. We're getting ready to go racing, folks. 15 laps for USF2000 for the first time here at this event in Markham. We are green, green, green. We'll go 2, 3, 4 wide down the straightaway. Into turn number 6, the curving corner for the first time. 6th and over to the short chute to the 7-8 combination. 5, 6 lanes wide here. It'll go down to 4 coming out of turn number 7. Turn 8, essentially single file, just a couple of lanes wide. Again, these drivers trying to give each other room through here. Well done thus far for the USF2000 pilots. We're side by side a little bit further back. Garzone's gone to the early lead. Sebastian Garzone, the point leader for D-Force Racing. Oh, there's a driver to the wall coming out of turn number 9. Somebody tapped the wall. Damage to that car. He's going to be able to limp it back. It's one of the exclusive Autosport cars. I think potentially the number 94 of Ayrton Kahn. And we talked, Ayrton's going to push straight off here. We talked about the fact that coming through that corner, there was a bit of a bump mid-corner. And he obviously got into that. It kind of sends the car, upsets the car a little bit. He went off track and tapped the wall on the outside. He's got himself into the runoff area as we're still racing down here through turn number 4. Full course caution. Yeah, he's off the racetrack over there. I don't think this is going to take a lot of time to get taken care of. He may be able to limp it back. But Todd, that was just a case of that one part of this racetrack that when I spoke to the drivers after practice, there was a little bit of concern. A bump right on the entry to the kink, turn number 9, very fast part of the racetrack. It kind of gets the car up and over, and it kind of wants to shoot out to the wall a little bit. Kahn was right there, and off he went.
This is one of the difficulties of this course. There is a little bit of a bump here and there. This is 100% brand new asphalt on this course here at the Markham, the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy at Markham, but there are still little bumps and undulations. We said there's going to be areas where the drivers are gearing down and trying to brake at the same time. The straightaways are not perfectly straight, and these are the little pieces of this track that you need to understand to find your way around.
Quick little update. Ayrton Kahn involved over in turn number 10, as we know. Joao Vergara in the 3, I'm told, involved as well. And Eddie Beswick, one of our championship contenders, all the way down to 21st. You saw that black and white number 23 at the tail of the field there after we'd gone yellow. So indeed 3 drivers involved here in the opening lap. We do have a look at what happened. So let's have the replay here of the issue for Ayrton Kahn. All of a sudden you saw that car kind of skate out to driver's left and right into the wall. Not much he could do about that. I think they talked about it. Here check there as he comes through. A little bit of a bump. Further back, remember he started 9th. Okay, just what? Oh, and he almost has it. So close on that left rear. It was sliding, and Todd, it just, maybe a foot is all he needed more, and he would have been able to come out of that when he had control of the car. But the minute that left rear touched that concrete, the damage was done, and he was essentially limping off into the runoff in turn 10.
He's trying to turn to the right. The car is pushing to the left. That's amplified in a couple of areas of this track as well by them being off camber, meaning the pavement drifts away from those corners as well. So you're trying to hang on, and if you correct too much, that causes you a problem. So you want to correct just enough to straighten that car out. But as you mentioned, needed about another 30, 40 centimeters and probably would have been okay.
The interesting thing is, of course, this is kind of parking lot. We go through the parking lots of the Unionville GO Transit Station. You're also on city streets. Anytime you have a city street, you're going to have the crown in the road for the drainage of rain. So crossing that crown in the road will just cause the car to start to drift out. It gets a little bit of oversteer coming through the corner. Tough one for Ayrton Kahn, as I know he was looking forward to a great run here today. 9th place in points coming in. Not what he wanted to happen at all.
It's been great to see the Kahn brothers, who have been competing back and forth this season, and Ayrton started out as if he was kind of maybe going to be the one who carried the flag forward for the family, but it's been a good battle back and forth.
So let's have a look at what that means to the order here, as we're going to be able to go back to green flag running fairly quickly, I believe. Sebastian Garzone takes the lead. Evan Cooley, who started in the 5th position, able to get through up into 2nd. So whatever happened up front there with Beswick and Vergara, they started 3rd and 4th, both those drivers to the tail of the field. Beswick continues, Vergara is out. I did not see that contact. That's moved Cooley up to 2nd in the number 90. Oliver Weldon goes to 3rd in the 98. Braz Majman, who sits 2nd in points, 4th in the 22. Anthony Martell in the 92 now in the 5th spot. Gabriel Kahn, who started 10th, he's up into the 6th spot. Vian Bossoff in 7th. Ryan Janetta in 8th. Wesley Gundler 9th, and Lucas Nanji, who started in 16th +6. So the Canadian driver out of Quebec up 6 spot. Nanji now puts himself into the top 10 as we look forward to the restart here.
All right, as everybody starts to gather themselves up, and fortunately we're able to clear that area quickly, and we'll get back to green flag racing and see what these USF2000 competitors can do. Sebastian Garzon will lead them back to green as the pace car continues to circulate. Field looks like they're starting to gather up behind it now. Pace car lights were still on when it went by, but we'll see how quickly they can come out.
When we do restart, it will be on the front straightaway, so they'll punch off here coming through turn number 12, but as we can see, another lap under the yellow here. We were crossing our fingers for a clean opening lap. The obvious issue with the bump there for Con, but also we're not able to see whatever happened with Beswick and who's Beswick together with Vergara. Beswick and Vergara got together. Again, that was a second row, so you have to believe they were battling pretty aggressively. They looked pretty clean to me coming through 6, through 7 and 8, so maybe some side-by-side down through the kink or potentially into turn number 10 as well.
There is a lot of tricky areas around this Ontario Honda Dealers Indy at Markham. Combinations of corners, whether it's the 7-8 combination, the 10-11-12 as you make your way through towards pit lane and out onto the front straightaway. There are some very tricky areas.
So think about this too, because we didn't do qualifying. In fact, we kind of had, we lost a session, so we didn't do qualifying. We lined up in the order of the points. So you look at the points, you think about how big issues with these drivers is now. That was 3rd and 4th in points. Beswick started 3rd. Vergara started 4th. That's where they were in the points, and now they're at the tail of the field. Beswick didn't get a chance to come back forward. He remains on the lead lap. Have not been able to identify what kind of damage we have for Beswick. But the guy 4th place in the points coming in, and that's the number 3 of Joao Vergara from VRD. He's not going to be happy with limited points on this run. In fact, he came into the weekend only 4 points ahead of Evan Cooley and only 10 points ahead of Oliver Weldon. So opportunity for Cooley and Weldon to move to 4th and 5th. Vergara could find himself potentially down into 7th after this weekend, knowing that the guys behind him, Cooley, Weldon, and Martella, still running now 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. So right there, ready to stack some points up here on the opening run. So a shorter 15-lap race today, Todd. We are back to the regular schedule tomorrow, so we'll have the longer race tomorrow.
I was going to say that Martella, Weldon, and others will have been notified of their opportunities as well, so look for them to try to take advantage in the later stages of this race.
Anthony Martella knows he's pretty much out of it here right now. He's quite a ways behind, as is Oliver Weldon, but you want to keep stacking up those race wins to cap the season. Looking forward to a new program in 2027. Field set, single file restart. The minute we go green, we'll get at it. Drivers lining things up, coming through turn number 9. Into the short chute here of turn number 10. That leads to that 10-11-12 combination. Back onto the front straightaway. They'll be able to punch off once they get into turn number 12. Oh, Garzon doing a good job keeping him at a slow run here through. He wants to get that early punch, and he does. Garzon onto the loud pedal, onto the front straightaway. A couple of drivers further back thinking about trying to grab a couple of spots. Green flag flying at start finish, and they will tiptoe their way through turns 1 and 2. Very precarious through that part of the racetrack. Hopefully we can get a full clean lap. Here's a move to the inside there, a little deeper back. So underway now right there. It was Callahan Peter, I think, going to the inside of Thomas Nordquist up into turn number 3. But Todd, underway once again. Guys at the back doing a good job. Give yourself some room. You're here to gain experience. No need to get wrecked here on the opening laps.
First time through the Remington hairpin since the restart, and there we go. We've got one turned around.
That's one of the exclusive Autosport cars. That may be the other Kahn brother.
I was going to say that's Gabriel Kahn, I believe.
Yeah, and he got looped around, I believe, by the 67 of Ian Bossoff. Coming out of that corner, Bossoff got to the back. Bossoff's got damage, wing damage as well. Both those drivers able to continue. I don't see us going yellow unless there's debris on the racetrack. Otherwise, I think we're going to be racing here. And indeed, yeah, they're going to go too wide coming down into turn number 6. Everybody up on the wheel here. So there's your front runners right there. They're kind of running a little bit cleaner, not surprisingly. Garzon, Majman, Cooley, Weldon, and Martella giving themselves a bit of room. There's Wesley Gundler as well. All that chaos over in turn number 5. Todd's going to shake things up 6 on back.
Exactly it. That's where Gabriel Kahn was running before he got bumped by Bossoff through the Remington hairpin and got turned around. So a little bit of a breather now for that breakaway top 5. Garzon, Majman, Cooley, Weldon, and Martella, the top 5, and all I've just turned personal best laps.
Not surprising, right? Again, when they came back out here, one of the first things they were going to have to come to grips with was the extra grip from the IndyCar rubber that's been laid down so far. Not a ton of it. You don't see a big track of rubber anywhere, but the bottom line is that the track's going to be a lot grippier than it was when they first came out onto the racetrack for warm-up or practice here this morning. One driver up on the wheel in a big way as we've got, I think, some more contact coming out of the corner there in turn number 4. It was Eddie Beswick pushing hard to try to work his way back forward. Beswick, as we said, here's an issue. Here's Beswick way up the outside trying to get a better run. He's battling it out with a couple of the Jay Howard cars there. In fact, they all kind of might be running together. Naeem Saleh, Callahan Peter, Max Cuthbert, and Kaylee Countryman. Yeah, all the Jay Howard cars, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. There's the damage right there for the number 93 as well. That's if... is the 93, I believe, is Gabriel Kahn. He continues, but with front wing damage.
Yes, exactly. The result of that contact in corner number 5 earlier on the previous lap. You mentioned Eddie Beswick. He's already jumped up to 15th spot after going to the back of the field with that first lap incident. We're under caution again.
Yeah, full course caution again, and I think Beswick may have got himself honestly up into 12th because I think he passed at least 3 of the Jay Howard cars on the run. He got a better drive out of the turn 5 hairpin and got a draft and pulled by them all. Here he is there, and then there's 1, 2, 3 Jay Howard cars behind him, so a big lap there as he was able to get through. Unsure yet what that full course yellow's for. Being told potentially the number 97 of Cole Medeiros. Not quite sure what corner yet for Cole Medeiros, but an issue there. Maybe turn number 4. I think I talked about the potential of an issue in 4. We saw that kind of in the back. And there, one driver coming, and that'll be Ayrton Kahn, or Gabriel Kahn rather, using that to get in and potentially get a wing changed. So Kahn's trying to see if they can't get a new wing on the front of that machine. His exclusive Autosport crew going to work. It was Cole Medeiros. Now we'll see it here. Here's the yellows. This is turn number 4. We'll see whether or not we get a shot. I think that's the only camera we have. The next one's coming the other direction. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to see it. But an issue for Cole Medeiros. He had the issue in the practice session earlier today at the end of the run. Lost the rear end coming through turn number 8 and just tapped the wall. That brought out the yellow and the checkered flag to end that session. He's brought another yellow flag out here for contact in turn number 4.
And this is what we talk about with the USF Pro Championships at all the events that you and I convene to discuss, is that you don't want to have an issue early on in the weekend because unfortunately sometimes things tend to snowball. Medeiros had the trouble at the end of the practice qualifying session. Unfortunately now it kind of sets you back a little bit on the weekend, and he's having difficulty in this race.
Now I'll tell you, Todd, we didn't have a great shot of that part of turn number 4, but as I look back up, I have a feeling it was a group of drivers, and I feel like I saw the car coming around. Like that says to me more there was contact from behind.
Right.
Again, I don't want to say that Cole kind of lost. It's not really a corner you would lose it. Turn 4 is more of a kind of flat out run through to a certain extent. Maybe not flat out, but you're rolling a lot of speed through there, and just the way there was cars around him, I have a feeling that somebody may have gotten to the back of him there and looped him around. So, that's something that our race control will look at. One of the things we do after every race is collect all the video cards. They head back to the race control trailer so that our team, our race directors and stewards, can have a look through all the video. They're going to find out what happened on the racetrack and if indeed a driver has incident responsibility.
And that's part of the learning process as well, is understanding that all of your video is going to be reviewed, all of your races are going to be reviewed, and it's a way to teach, it's a way to help these drivers learn and become better at their craft.
So indeed, we're seeing how things shake down here. I'm trying to look at some of the reports potentially I got here from race control. We're coming up to the halfway point, and indeed this is why, because we're of course on a bit of a tough schedule, compacted into 2 days that we're only allowed a 30-minute window for both these races here. We of course hoped for the best for our drivers here in USF2000 to get lots of race laps. The incidents we've had have been fairly minor thus far. Obviously the issue for Ayrton Kahn into that bump. Did he get some help? We don't know. All we saw was the car coming out through turn number 9. Then we had the Vergara and Beswick issue. Eddie back up at the 10th position as of now. Another driver heading to pit lane to get some repairs done. That might have been Ryan Janetta. I think Ryan Janetta coming in there as well in the number 44. Janetta coming into the weekend sitting in the 8th place in points. So a number of top point drivers having some issues. I want to say Gabriel Kahn back out onto the racetrack again. He's 17th. Yeah, so they were able to come in, exclusive change that wing, and got him back out on the lead lap. So nicely done for the EA gang there to get him back out on the racetrack and get a chance for him now to potentially crawl his way back forward.
Absolutely. As mentioned, it was Ayrton Khan who kind of started off at the start of the season, who was having the better performances, but Gabriel Khan has really come on in the last part of the year in this USF2000 series. Now with the fresh wing, an opportunity to maybe pick up a few more positions. Also want to shout out to Lucas Nanji, who's up to 7th, another Canadian who is in the field from Montreal and also running in the top 10 right now.
All right, so getting a little bit of the input here from race control. They did do a reorder. We had Evan Cooley up into second. They moved Brad Majman back into the second spot, so that was from race control. Majman goes up into second, Cooley to third, Weldon fourth, and Matella in fifth. Also being passed along that Joao Vergara in the number 3 will be getting a post-race penalty for avoidable contact. I would expect that was with Eddie Beswick to drop him down to the tail of the field. So lots going on there, folks, in this one here. So indeed, as we expected, though, the cream has risen to the top. The drivers running in 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially in that position in points. Garzone, Majman, 1, 2. Cooley sits in 4th now. He runs 3rd on the racetrack. Weldon coming off back-to-back wins in Portland. He is 6th coming into the weekend, but runs now up into the 5th spot, or 4th rather, ahead of Martella. And amazing to think about Oliver Weldon. He is in the 6th spot in points. Now, granted, he's a ways back. He's 102 points back of Sebastian Garzone, but he missed the first 2 races of the year, was not old enough to race at St. Petersburg. You have to be 15 years of age to run in this USF2000 program, and 15 as of getting in the race car at any time. He didn't turn 15 until I think a couple of weeks later in March. So he's been on the throttle, got his first 2 wins, got that pressure off. We'll see if Oliver Weldon can step things up right now. The drivers working their way through 10 and 11. We're going to go back to green flag here. Again, 7 laps in, 8 laps will go in when they come across the line. There'll be 7 laps remaining. Green flag's out, I believe, and we are racing. Tail of the field. Once the green flag flies, you can get at it. So you're seeing some action a little bit further back. Single file through 1 and 2, that's for sure. I know people want to get aggressive, but my goodness, it is essentially threading the needle through there. It's better to get a run out here and throw it down the inside like that Jay Howard car, getting a spot coming through turn number 3. So underway, a couple drivers side by side through, a little slider there. That was Eddie Beswick. He's going to get another spot, and there's that control, former Australian champion in F1600 racing, sliding that car through, and I think he was able to potentially get by Naeem Saleh. Oh, that's not a tough place to go for the 5 of Kaylee Countryman. She went to the inside. If you go to the inside and make a move like that, you got to make sure you get past the apex. You're only going to be able to get 1, and she got stuck in there to the point where she couldn't get back on the throttle. She lost a couple of spots as drivers getting a better run around the outside.
That's the tantalizing part about the Remington hairpin, is that it's an opening up the inside, but you really got to be able to get that car slowed down and turned around that tight corner inside if you're coming through there.
That's that turn 6 we talked about. You're kind of turning in, loading up as you brake coming through that corner, and then you got to release and make sure the car's pointed in the right direction. Short shoot down to 7, into 8 where it tightens up on the exit. 2 lanes, maybe 2.5, 3 lanes on the exit down here through one of the city streets. Indeed, these drivers further back getting a feel for this. What I do like, Todd, is they're going to get the experience here. Now, we didn't get a chance to go green to checker, but they're going to sleep on this, and they're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to see even better racing tomorrow now that they've got kind of a feel for this racetrack.
Absolutely. This is part of the process and trying to maximize the track time as well for USF Pro Championships in both USF2000 and Pro 2000. Get a couple of races each weekend. Give the drivers as much learning opportunity as they can get. Lots of action in the back there.
Yeah, big send for Eddie Beswick. If you guys watch that online, those of you who are watching here on the YouTube channel, carried so much speed coming out of turn number 2, let the car drift to the outside instead of setting back up to the driver's right, threw it down the bottom, and was able to get to the inside of Naeem Saleh. It was actually Max Cuthbert, I think, or potentially Thomas Nordquist. He got the lap before, so Eddie Beswick on a storm back forward. I believe he now up into, I think, the 8th position, and he'll try to close up on his teammate Lucas Nanji. So Beswick continues to push. Working lap number 10, Garzone's lead about a half a second now over Brad Majman.
Yeah, it's pulling out just a little bit of a gap between himself and Brad Majman, Evan Cooley, Oliver Weldon in 4th, and Anthony Martella still in 5th. Those top 5 trying to shake things up and pick up a little position and close that gap on Sebastian Garzone.
Todd, as we talked about at the start, 5 races still to go in this USF2000 Championship, the doubleheader here, and let's watch this real quick. Those are drivers trying to go 2 by 2 through that corner. I'm going to hold my breath a little. See if they come out the other side. They do. I don't know. It's two by two through turn number 8's the way to go. But 5 races to go. All these points, every one you can get is crucial. 30 points for a race win, but it's a point for bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. It's a point for the most laps led. That belongs to Garzone. Nobody can take that away. He's led 10 laps so far. There's a bonus point as well. He's got the fast lap right now too. An opportunity for Garzone to get another lap. And I'll say this, race 1, the grid's set by points. Race 2, your fastest laps in this race. So Garzone looking to try to keep himself on the pole position, a 128.634. Right now holding that spot as we are working lap number 11 here. The driver's finally getting a feel for how to get through turn number 5. That's that great battle further back, continuing on. Look at the over-under there. I love it. Driver up the inside. Great job there for the over-under. I think that's Gabriel Kahn in the middle of a battle here with Callahan Peter and or Max Cuthbert. So Kahn working his way back up. Started, as we know, in the 10th position. His brother Ayrton out early. But Gabriel putting a show here, coming back to the front from the back.
Done a great job. The team doing a great job during that caution period to replace that front wing that was damaged when he got turned around in that Remington hairpin. Now taking advantage of it and picking up another spot.
Garzone trying to stretch away 0.6 of a second now. Every little tenth, half a tenth counts to try to pull away. Oh, some driver had some trouble coming through. We've got Carney, some car parts coming out of turn number 10. Everyone's going to get a chance to look at it here, but I don't know that our race control will let that stay. It would be an easy cleanup, but of course we want to go clean and green to the end. They may, once everybody's seen it, continue to run. It's a single file part of the racetrack, so they may let that stay. Ideally, as we know, our goal is to get these drivers green flag racing. If they all know the parts are there, Todd, they may elect to leave them there.
And as they've now, most of the field has come through and seen it once, they may also think, okay, we have to take advantage of every opportunity now because we might not get the full 15 here.
Yeah, you're right. You may get aggressive trying to get another spot here at the end of this run. 11 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Garzone leads, Majman second, Cooley, Weldon, and Martella. They've got a second back to Wesley Gundler, who's looking for another top 10 finish. A tremendous season so far. The debut, a full season for NV Motorsports. Oh, look at this battle here. That is in front of the NV driver. That, I believe, it might be Beswick going at it there as well, or that was Martella and Weldon. I think Martella made a move to the inside of Weldon. Indeed he has. He's got the spots. They're working down to turn 7. Caution's out. Martella's got the spot, though, coming through, but did it happen before one of the timing lines? You've got to get that pass done on the timing line. We'll see whether or not it works for Anthony Martella. He did make a fantastic move coming down into turn number 6. So indeed, being told a driver off in turn number 4 might be the number 9. There's the AMR IndyCar safety team out to pick up the carnage over in turn number 10. So we'll wait as the field rolls back by to find out what driver could maybe involved there. Being told there may be a driver off in turn 4. Quickly in to get the parts on the racetrack here. They've got the parts on the outside, but does somebody want to tell them about what's on the inside there? Maybe they'll just drive up to that one. So Garzone, Majman, Cooley, Martella, and Weldon. They've got Weldon back to 5th. I think maybe he got to a timing line, Martella did. There's timing lines around the racetrack that IndyCar uses, and we use them as well for if a pass comes out. If you get the pass done before and the yellow comes out, it may not be back to start finish, but maybe one of those timing lines tells that you've got that pass done. So Martell up to P4.
And Oliver Weldon 5th, Wesley Gundler 6th, and the charge continues for Eddie Beswick, who's now found his way up into 7th position.
The driver potentially off in turn number 4, the number 9, Jay Howard car of Callahan Peter. Not quite sure what happened there with Peter. He made a couple of moves to the inside in 3 to move himself up forward. He was running, I think, in the 13th spot, maybe even 12th. So we'll give you a full field rundown here as we've got 12 laps down and 3 to go. With the cleanup, if they're able to get that car of Callahan Peter cleaned up quickly, we may have a little dash here at the very end. Being told we may have a replay, folks. It may not be fantastic. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see what we get here. Watch the driver. Oh, maybe that was it right there, potentially the front sliding through the corner. Oh, here it is here. That's Callahan Peter up top. That's very interesting. We definitely want another look at that. As you're coming through that corner, you're carrying quite a bit of speed onto the brake a little bit to set it up to get into the corner. and appears like maybe just got a little high on the racetrack and wasn't able to get it down to the apex. And at that point, if you're outside the racing line, Todd, as we know, you're going to pick up a bit of understeer and potentially tap the wall.
It's a little easy to brush the wall if that happens. And here's another look back at it, and we'll see a little bit of a lock up there on the front, and you can see the car just drifting a little bit. The apex of the corner down a little bit lower, and it's important to carry as much speed as you can through that area because it's a long straightaway down to the run of corner number 5.
You could see the entry inclination of the cars as they started to transition and get a little bit of rotation coming into that corner, and Callahan just a little bit outside there. You can see he knew it, right? I'm in deep. I can't. So you're at that point you're trying to apply a little more brake pressure to see if you can't whoa it. And once you do that, of course, the car stands on its nose and likely maybe try to get some front wheel into it. But again, on a street circuit like this, if you get outside the gray into the gray there when the grip's not there, again, Peter just potentially understeering into the wall. Not sure how bad that contact was. And we're being told white flag. So this will be it, folks. The race is going to officially end here. Our podium for USF 2000 will take place with the USF Pro 2000 podium at the end of the next race. We'll have no break in the broadcast here as well. We'll go right through as our USF Pro 2000 car sitting on the grid getting set to go. And that, folks, means a 4th win on the season for D-Force Racing Sebastian Garzon, the point leader, taking full advantage of being on the pole, and he'll have that again for tomorrow. The fastest lap of the race. Excellent stuff. Brad Markham will be on the outside of the front row, I believe. What did he have? A 28.6. We'll have to go a little deeper through the field. Some of the drivers may put down big laps. I think it may be Majman on the outside of the front row with a 6.0. We'll line things up here for you. But Brad Majman and Evan Cooley, the 2 drivers on the podium, alongside Sebastian Garzon. D-Force, Pabst Racing, exclusive Autosport here. Anthony Martella holding on to P4. Oliver Weldon into 5th. Wesley Gundler in 6th spot. Looking down for Gundler, is that his best finish of the year? No, he had a 5th at Portland. He's really starting to come on. Wesley is with NV Motorsports in 6th. Eddie Beswick, the very tail of the field after contact with Joao Vergara on the opening circuit. He battles his way back up to a very crucial 7th if he's still to win this championship. He was able to get by his teammate Lucas Nanji in 8th, Naeem Saleh in 9th, and Max Cuthbert, the rookie driver, the USF Juniors pilot, capping off the top 10.
Great job by a number of those drivers. You mentioned Eddie Beswick, who was at the rear of the field at the start of this race because of an incident, and it's the fight back. When you're thinking of the championship, it's all right, you understand that you're highly unlikely going to be able to win this race, but it's how many positions can I gain? How much ground can I make up? A great job by Beswick to charge back up into the top 10. And as we talked about too, with the debris on the track, you don't know how long you're going to be able to stay green. What a move by Anthony Martella to snag an extra position ahead of Oliver Weldon.
Yeah, he was being aggressive coming up that long straightaway from 5 to 6 to get to the inside of Weldon. Weldon looked to try to cover the inside a little bit, but Martella was not going to give that one up and was able to move his way to 4th. I'll say this, though, we talk about the championship. Coming into this one, Eddie Beswick with 230 points, Sebastian Garzon 299, a 69-point difference. If he leaves, if you're more than 99 points behind the leader leaving this weekend, you're out of the championship contention, because the bottom line is there's only 99 points up for grabs in the 3 races when we get to Road America. So right now, this thing, after this race, is coming down to the point where we may only have 2 or 3 drivers that are really in mathematical contention for this one. Sebastian Garzon, though, a fantastic run for him. It's been a while since he's won, back at Indianapolis in May, Todd. This is going to be a huge little bit of relief for Garzon. He's been posting great races, stacking up the points, but to get another victory here on a very tough circuit, he'll be thrilled here. And we'll, of course, talk with him when we have our podium presentation after USF Pro 2000.
Oh, yes. If you've won a race and you're fighting for a championship and then you go a long stretch without scoring a race victory, it starts to eat at you a little bit mentally. So for Sebastian Garzon to score the victory, that is big for him. As we continue to look at the rest of the unofficial results, Gabriel Kahn with a nice climb back up towards the top 10 after having some issues early on. Looking further back, Brendan Cooley, Ian Boshoff, who had those troubles as well. Cole Medeiros, who had the contact and was set further back in the field. Callahan Peter and Ryan Janetta rounding out the top 20 in USF 2000.
So our USF Pro 2000 drivers on the pit lane already. We brought both of our series out to the pit lane, so make sure we were able to get ready to roll here. In fact, I think we're only a couple of minutes away really from getting things underway with driver introductions for the pro category. So great stuff here right now for the drivers. And there is your unofficial results. Sebastian Garzon, Brad Madgman, and Evan Cooley, your top three. Anthony Martella getting by Oliver Weldon on the last green lap to go to fourth. Wesley Gundler up into sixth spot. Eddie Beswick climbs his way back up to seventh. Lucas Nanji, Naeem Saleh, and Max Cuthbert cap off your top 10 as two Jay Howard cars in ninth and 10th. Good job for both Naeem, his best finish of the year, and Max Cuthbert as well. If you look at the remainder of the top 20, we'll give you a look through. Otherwise, our drivers in USF Pro 2000 are on the pit lane and getting ready to get things underway. 12 drivers set to go here in the USF Pro 2000 category. The championship very tight up top. I would likely say probably 4 or 5 potential drivers still in the championship fight there. One of the big differences for USF Pro 2000, while they have 2 races here and 3 at Road America, they also, Todd, have a race at the Milwaukee Mile in 2 weeks. Proper IndyCar oval. We run the 5/8 mile oval, the Freedom 75 and the Freedom 90 during the Carb Night Classic before the Indy 500. But this is a proper oval for these drivers here. They're going to be whistling. It's going to be super fast. 45 points up for grabs for a race win. It's usually only 30, but with a single file start like that, that's the big difference here right now as we're looking essentially at these drivers having to step up. There's a lot to go. 45 points could change everybody's weekend.
Sure can, and that's part of the process of growing in the USF Pro Championships too, is that you start off on the shorter oval, and then as you move up the ladder, now you get up to the real deal.
And we had a test there the Monday after the Road America IndyCar weekend, and the drivers getting out of their car just smiling like they're carrying full throttle all the way through to the apex. So once they get in there and they're releasing it a bit of brake on, they bang it down from 6th to 5th to get back on power. So it's I can't wait to get to the Milwaukee Mile. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's been a long time since we've been there. I want to say 2014 was the last time the USF Pro 2000 drivers were there. In fact, it was Pro Mazda back in the day. So excited to see that one. But this young driver here, Sebastian Garzon, we'll give him an opportunity to celebrate on camera. Again, our victory lane is going to happen after USF Pro 2000. We'll do both of those when we get there. But Garzon, man, huge for him. Give him that little bit extra he needs. He'll hop out of the car, folks. If you're around the racetrack, a round of applause for Sebastian Garzon. The emotion, no doubt about it, there for D-Force Racing as well. They won this championship before with Kiko Porto. Drivers getting set. It was kind of tough to get them over here from pit lane. IndyCar's rolling out there right now, so a little bit of excitement for sure. But again, getting set to go here for the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Markham, our first of 2 podiums here right now. We'll do 2 more tomorrow. Let's start, folks, with the driver coming home in 3rd place today from Exclusive Autosport, Evan Cooley. Evan, come on over here. We'll get things underway. And we have the trophy coming in as well. Victoria Manfuz is going to bring our trophy. We'll get the trophy for you first, and we'll have a quick chat. Come on up there, Victoria. Get the trophy here for Evan. Going to stand, get a picture. Our guest from Continental Tire Canada with us here. Evan, first time to get on that racetrack. Victoria, you're good. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts there, man? You were up on the wheel early. There was some action early, but just your thoughts overall on the race.
Yeah, it was a pretty composed race. I mean, just held our own, made up a couple positions on the start, and yeah, just hung on to 3rd till the end.
What do you think about tomorrow? Can we go a little bit faster?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we qualified on points today, so hopefully I got a fast lap in, and we'll start a little bit higher up.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Let's bring up the driver coming home in 2nd spot all the way from Australia, Brad Madgman, finishing P2. Let's bring that trophy up here as well. Tristan Bosch. Tristan, come on up here. Give that trophy to Brad. Gonna stand up here for a picture with him as well. There you go. Look out this way. Look right down there, bud. Good stuff. Brad, we're in the middle of a championship battle, right? You need these good finishes. Just give me your thoughts on the way that race went. It was some chaotic behind you, but a fantastic drive to P2.
Yeah, it's just interesting. No qualifying, so it was really the first half of that race. We're still figuring the track out. I maybe would have liked qualifying. I'm also not gonna say no to starting second. So it was good track position to just kind of figure the track out there at the start and then build into it. We started to get going at the end there, and then there was that last safety car, and we were time certain, which was a shame. But no, I'm loving the track. It's great fun. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Best of luck there.
Thanks.
Brad Bajman, folks, finishing P2 here today for Pabst Racing. One more spot on the podium, a big win for this driver. He's your point leader as well from Colombia for D-Force Racing. A round of applause for Sebastian Garzone. John Garcia, come on up here with that trophy. You stay down here with me. Again, our friends from Continental Tire Canada joining us. John's going to bring this trophy in here for Sebastian Garzone. Big run from the pole position for him. Sebastian, a tough racetrack, as we know, starting on pole with points, no qualifying. You were pressured the entire time behind. Just give me your overall thoughts on the racetrack. IndyCar had just gone out. Were you surprised at all with the grip level?
Well, first, thank to God, because he helped me like in every race to help me to make the good decisions. Thank my team, to Israel, that's my mechanic, that it's like in the hospital, to Colombia for the earthquake. And yeah, really happy to have this win, to have more extending my championship points. The track is really fun and trying to figure out like more how the track, like the second sector was not that good for me. But yeah, pushing every lap more and try to do the same tomorrow.
Congratulations, my friend. Get on top of this podium. There's my podium, folks, and the drivers here in USF2000. Our pro drivers waiting in the wings as well. A lot of hats coming out here, as we know, the champagne waiting as well. Now, granted, these drivers are 19, so it is, as we call it, an age-appropriate sparkling beverage. International for sure, the U.S., Colombia, and Australia on the podium here for the drivers in USF2000, the second rung of this USF Pro Championships program. From here, these drivers try to get themselves up into the USF Pro 2000 program. That scholarship, of course, worth over $405,000 to win the title and move up the next level into USF Pro. All part of this Continental Tire Grand Prix of Markham. Our first wheel-to-wheel action of the weekend as well. Obviously, the first race that we saw, we've had practice for the other categories, and great for our young drivers here to put on a show. Some great racing, a little bit of contact, but not surprising, on a very difficult and brand new racetrack. The usual hat dance, getting things dialed in correctly. We got champagne to fly here as well. But we've also got first some photos here. We're going to bring all our guests from Continental Tires up here for a group photo on the podium with the drivers here. We talk about getting this photo done and how cool it is. You think about it, if you go back a couple of years in USF 2000, Kyle Kirkwood was a champion. Christian Rasmussen was a champion. So many fantastic drivers have come through USF 2000 and found their way up to IndyCar. And this is an opportunity to meet these young drivers before they get there, all on their way up. As I often say, if you're a Canadian race fan, it's like Junior C, Junior B, and Junior A hockey. If you're from the U.S., like Single A, Double A, and Triple A baseball. These are the young drivers who you're going to see as the future of IndyCar in the next decade and beyond. Again, champagne waiting in the wings, folks. So we'll wrap things up here for the drivers at USF 2000, doing it all again tomorrow. 2 races in the morning before the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy at Markham. It's going to be a fantastic race tomorrow. This track, you've heard all the feedback from all the drivers. They absolutely love this racing facility. Let's get our guests down here before we spray some champagne. I don't want them to have to walk around smelling like champagne for the rest of the day. All right, guys, let's get at it. Hop off that podium, grab that champagne, grip it and rip it here, folks. The celebration underway for USF 2000. Big win for Sebastian Garzone. Brad Majman into second. Evan Cooley, a fantastic start to go to P3. One more podium still to come as the USF Pro 2000 drivers will be up next.